Our first speaker is James Whitelaw, founder and chairman at Triology Care. And James is going to be sharing a case study on approaches to addressing financial sustainability. So let's welcome James to the stage if we can. Green.
No, I'm not. I don't particularly need one. Am I using these ones? Yes. We're up on there now. Okay, great. Okay, I have a clicker. Okay. Hello everyone. Everyone loud and clear. We had a few problems this morning. Look, I've approached this engagement from the viewpoint of an accountant, right? So I think I made that disclosure earlier in a prior presentation today. And when it's a case study, I've assumed that I'm talking about my own experience. And the approaches that... Yes. Oh, the later one's that one. Great. For the next slide. Okay, terrific. Thank you. So I assume that the case study means that we're going to talk about a bit about my experience at Triology Care. I'll work it through. What we do, Triology is a self-managed provider. We took our first client in December 2020. I'll talk a little bit how that happened. Our catch cry is better value, choice, and ease. A lady from Ferris asked me how Triology has grown so rapidly over the last 4 years. And it is those principles that have attracted those people to go to self-management. Essentially, there are two levels of self-management. There's those who are fully self-managed, who have someone like me in their family and can help people procure their supports. We charge a 15% fee for that service. And then we have, for those people who don't have a me, to assist them, we then provide them with a coordinated service, which is 26%. So they're the two levels. We operate nationally, and we're based in Brisbane. Our entire workforce is Brisbane-based. I can tell you my story. It's a personal experience with my in-laws. Who lived in Cairns. This is 2017. They needed care. We got them assessed. They got a level 1 and a level 2. Really the significant support that was required was transport. My mother-in-law had lost her licence, but loved to go to the beach with her dogs. And so that was probably the main thing that was to be spent from her level 2 package. And father-in-law was my mother-in-law had lost her license because of early stage dementia, and father-in-law was lacking mobility. I then went to the market, having had what was around about $24,000 to spend. Spoke to some providers, was disappointed with what I got, so far as the number of hours I could get. An advocate said, have you looked at self-management? I said, what's that? And so the journey started. I went to a self-managed provider. They had 100 clients and had closed their books. They husband and wife, and I thought this is an amazing thing you're doing, getting better value instead of 6 hours a week. I could, by self-managing, get 12 hours a week. I use the Mabel platform for the procurement of my labour, and so They said, no, we don't want any more than 100, we're happy with that. And I said, well, I think you need to get this sort of out there a bit more. I said, that's what I'm going to do. And so that's what we did. That is the family experience. Probably the third point, professional expertise. As a chartered accountant, professional services for the last 35 years. Accountants, at the end of the day, we measure productivity. We charge by the 6 minutes, so we know it backwards. And we measure productivity by the hour, by the day, by the month, by the year. For us to operate efficiently, we felt that we needed to have great tools to understand the drivers of the business and to measure that. The broad principle, I'm going to leave time for questions. Luke, have I got 30 minutes? 30, thank you. Activity-based costing, a quick lesson, I guess, and there's a statement that I've before seen by Peter Drucker, you can't manage what you don't measure. And so if you're a great measurer, you'll be by default a good manager. I'm going to give you some examples of what we measure. I want to tell you a story about what is activity-based costing. I'll give you a good example from my own experience many years ago. I had a client who had a plant hire business. When I say plant, there's no plants in here, but I'm talking about a palm, right? And she wasn't making any money, struggling. And she said, I don't know, I charge $4 a week for that plant, and I don't know, because that's what everyone else charges. What am I doing wrong? I'm not making any money. So I said, well, what's that plant cost you? And she said, it was a Kentia palm, right? So that's like $20. And that's $4 a week, right? And what about that plant? Oh, that's a Rafus palm, right? And that's an $80 a week plant. And she was charging the same $4 a week, right, for each of those plants. Whereas when I said, no, you need to take the cost of the plant, right, and amortise that over its useful life, and then put a cost of maintenance upon that, and then you'll understand that that's probably $2, and that's probably $6. Well, she said, nah, that's all too hard. I'm just a sort of a money in, money out sort of person. And so she failed. Right? And eventually one of the big operators of plant hire businesses, namely a company called Rent-A-Kill, which is a really weird name for a plant hire business, took over that business, and they certainly did amortise that asset and understood what the cost of maintenance that is to water that plant every week or fortnight, whatever the deal was. So if you're one of those organisations, right, it's a money in, money out type of operation, then it's not good. You're setting yourself up to fail. You need to really understand what your activities are costing you, and have good systems to measure that. The three different colours that I have there are the five that are orange. Ones that we measure very much on a person basis. How many people does it take to do the task? How many can one person look after in those areas? Care management, package management, and care coordination. We really do drill down and understand what the ratio of people to clients is for those activities. That first box over to the left, sales and marketing, the big measure there is cost of acquisition, or our customer acquisition cost, our CAC, right? I can tell you that we have various activities where our CAC sits at around about $300. And we have other activities where our cost of acquisition sits at $1,300. Doesn't mean we stop that activity which costs $1,300, but we consider how we can better do it and manage that. The high CAC is the procurement of our consumers in rural and remote areas. There's a lot of work that we have to do to try and bring capacity to those areas and procure clients. Whereas more metropolitan-based clients, particularly through digital marketing, has a lower CAC. But measuring CAC, anyone who measures CAC here, by the way, any big measures of CAC? No. There's one to really start building systems to understand what your cost of acquisition are of a consumer. The one in red out to the right, we don't do direct care services. We're self-managed. The workforce is entirely contracted and procured by the consumer themselves or with the assistance of a care coordinator. So we don't have to worry too much about the activity-based costing of labour. So we're fortunate in that regard. The regulatory governance and what we call corporate affairs, which is an old term but a nice term, is more of an overhead. We don't measure that so much. It's fairly consistent. It's a consistent overhead, and we don't focus on it. If you look up the total costs, including the direct labour, far and away the biggest of costs is labour, as we all know. I couldn't tell you exactly what percentage of our cost is labour, but it's 80%, and then probably second is occupancy costs. Understanding those costs, those activities, cost of those activities means monitoring the labour and what people do, right? And to do that, we have unique good systems. I'll just move forward to the next. I just picked three of the orange boxes just to understand what we determine to be, or what we say care management, what's package management, what's care coordination. Each of those activities, those dot points, each one takes time and has a cost. And therefore, if we can understand what our care management ratios are, we're ratio driven, that enables us to price our services. Package management. So each care management and the package management are part of the 15% offering, and the care coordination is the extra 11% in effect. And look, we talked about this in the 12 o'clock panel session about what the key ingredients are for a good efficient business, and financial sustainability, and that's built around IT platforms. In our business, telephony is a significant part of our business. We have built-in telephony systems that enable us to monitor how long people spend on the phone, either in the sales and marketing area, in care management, in package management, in care coordination. Some people love a talk, and some people are able to efficiently turn around a phone call. So We're able to measure that on a person-by-person basis. You can see what the bespoke IT platforms do. As I said in the 12 o'clock panel session, the overarching platform is a customer relationship management system, CRM, called Zoho. I don't know whether customer relationship management is the correct, but we've been able to adapt Zoho, so it's very much a consumer relationship management system. And it's not just the relationship, it also drives our processes and our responses. So the money that you spend on the development of IT platforms, the adaptation of existing platforms, or building your own is money well spent. You know how your business works, then get some talent in to then build a platform that emulates the way the business works. In package management, that was a little bit easier on an accountant. So having systems built around Xero initially, and being able to then through Power BI create statements was how we were able to deliver that solution initially. But then as it grew, Xero just could not keep up with it, so we then had to reinvest, and we switched to a higher level system built by MYOB with some a big front end that built onto it. So that now delivers the financial information, and now it delivers live statements. Which is what people were looking for. But for a number of years, it's just a bit, you get better at it. For a number of years, we did not have live statements. But the move to live statements was a very good one. Where is Triology today? I think we talked this morning, or we had a talk by Darryl from Right at Home. And he, in his summary pages, says scalable operations will, I think it was Darryl that said that. Scalable operations will be needed in the future to survive. Triology is at scale, 8,000 active care plans, 8,200 I think it is. We do leverage technology. It's built around the popularity of self-management as people are moving toward that through greater choice and value. Buyer beware. You do get people that want to go to self-management for reasons that aren't sustainable, right? And they want to beat the system, if you like. So you've got to have good practices and systems that also detect those outliers. They'll move away from a full service provider because they're not getting what they want, right? And then thinking that they can get whatever they want under self-management. Just that. And when they find out that that's not true, then they can be difficult. But they generally that greater choice is what people are seeking. We deliver quality consumer outcomes. We've had 3 audits since we commenced operations or took our first consumer in 2020, December 2020, and the Commission is very happy with us. And we fully meet the standards. And our last audit was in February 2023. So they're happy enough to leave us alone at the moment. We have some strategic business partnerships around the country. So whilst we're a Brisbane-based organisation, we do have associates in all states. And as I said, a significant contracted workforce. A touch under 30% of our consumers use Mabel. And we're seeing them also using higher care seekers and the like. And many already have their workforce, already have their relationships, and they're converted into just onboarded suppliers through Trilogy's own direct compliance systems. Maybe take some questions.
The nature of letting us know exactly how an organisation has got to 8,200 consumers. Obviously, a lot of information there about activity-based costing, and I'm sure for those of you in home care, you've been diligently working your way through that. So questions from the floor for James.
I'm curious, even it's a self-managed home care packages, you are still responsible for clinical governance. So how do you manage that? And although we are managing home care packages, it's tricky because people test the patient's care coordinator because they want, as you said, whatever they want. Although it could be an exclusion, clearly, but they want to achieve that. So how do you manage that part as well?
Yeah. Back to the activities. So care management and clinical care are two divisions within our organisation. We have regular contact with the clients. So we're proactively contacting them, checking on their welfare, their requirements. That is there's a process. Our Zoho says, hey, you need to call this person. It's time. If we haven't heard, we also have great systems that respond to any inquiry back the other direction, and we action those. We go to our entire client base and survey them every 6 months. So there's good interaction. In fact, perhaps even though it's not our worker, our direct worker in the home, we make sure that those workers understand what their responsibilities are, is to report back to us. But we also are proactive going back the other way. Early on in self-management, I know that there were other self-managed providers that were lacking in those areas in their clinical governance. We sort of learned from their errors, I'd suggest. So that's once again just following the processes. Really the only difference between a self-managed provider and a full service provider is that you have an employee in there, whereas we have a contractor or it's a contracted one. But we ensure that there is good channels of communication with the worker.
Great. James, I've got another question for you while we find another applicant. Consumer portals, do the consumers interact with a portal at all, and what sort of things do they interact with in that particular portal?
Yeah. Good question. So our new portal, which has just rolled out, that was part of the live statements. And understanding what their budgets are. So there's great financial information there for the clients or their representative or their coordinator. It's probably far away the main reason they want to have a portal is for the financial management aspects.
And do they have access to like a marketplace at all, or do you see that as part of the future, or will you keep that directly to care coordination so that you don't get the unintended consequence of people trying to choose things that they shouldn't have in a package?
You mean a marketplace where they can
choose the gardener, choose the services?
Yeah. So currently we collaborate with others that have that marketplace, namely, higher up and care seekers, Mabel and the like. So we haven't built our own marketplace yet. We do see an opportunity to build a marketplace for mobility aids. We think that there's an opportunity to provide a value offering by having that as part of a marketplace for that. We don't think that's done well enough at the moment. Yep.
Great. Anybody else? Yes, another question down here.
Hi there. Is it on? I don't usually talk in microphones. My name's Lisa. I work for a home care provider, and I just wanted to ask you, what is the process, or how is the process different for you in managing registers for, say, restricted practice or psychotropic medications?
Yeah. So I need to sort of determine how we're different to someone else, because I'm not sure how someone else does it. Right. So I'm probably not as across that. We do rely on I know on the capability of some of those platforms, and if you talk to Mabel, they'll say they have great attributes. Certainly in our communications that we have, we monitor those, but at the moment we rely on that subcontracted platform, and some would be in-house, and I can't tell you exactly what the split is.
Thank you. I was just curious, because it seems a lot harder to try and come across all those registers when it's all broken out.
Yes.
But if you've got the in-house, like if you've got an in-house support, and I'm the team leader for clinical care for my organisation, so I run all those registers. We've got about 10 of them, so I'm busy.
And
that's the only thing I was thinking of.
Yes. And look, I've got I don't have Sian who heads up that part of our that division of the business, but I'm sure she'd answer that in a heartbeat.
Thanks, James. Just one question. You started in December 2020, right?
Yep.
And how many clients do you have now?
8,200.
How did you scale that so quickly?
Yeah, I think just and I should also mention we have 3,500 DVA clients as well, and we're keen on the 100 million that CHSP work that's going to be dished out from October through to June this year, and trying to assist the government to deliver those services. I think it's just been a bit of a popular thing. People like me looking for value. Yes, sure, we have good digital marketing strategies, but also building a network of care coordination groups around the country. We have nearly 200 care coordinators nationally, and therefore they're delivering the message as well. And of course, it doesn't take long if they're getting two a month. On average, there's 400 new clients a month. You've got to have something to sell. You've got to have something to deliver. But that has been a driver for the growth. I think that's how I think we've scaled. The other thing is that we manage around about in home care about $300 million of funding annually. I think in the KPMG report the other day it said we were number 7. I think we're number 2. That's 30 June 23 data. I think just the word of mouth has really taken over, by the way. Early on it was more digital. and it was the network, but word of mouth now is a significant contributor to growth.
Fantastic, James. Thank you very much. Everyone put your hands together. Sorry, we've got one more. Sorry, down the back here.
Sorry, I'll be quick. I'm just curious about, given the business model, how do you manage the possible challenges with regard to, say, workforce competence and regulatory compliance when it comes to their capability on the field? Is that something included in your activity-based costing?
Yes, it is. So within our supplier compliance area there, so people do register direct with us as a supplier. There's a process we have to onboard them as a compliance regime we take them through. That looks at their qualifications, of course, the other things that they require, but also when the work is not coming direct as a supplier to Trilogy's clients, coming through the other platforms, they are also scrutinised. We're satisfied with the processes. We also have we then go back the other way. We audit particularly our broker partners. We audit them annually. So we're constantly making sure that they fulfil their obligations. So we audit. We don't entirely rely on it. We go back the other direction as well, and audit them.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, James, for that.